Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Um,
Good morning. Boy, we got a crew in here.
we got a good crew in this morning.
I don't know why we don't have a subject again. Well, we sort of do.
Well, we do. We always have a subject. Mount railroading.
We do.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody.
Yeah. We got Roy Eltham, Dave BNSF, Art PR PDR engineer. We got Sparky in this morning. Good morning, Sparky. How are you? What? We got Almar, Joe Rader. Who did I miss? Um, did I miss anybody? I don't know.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure I missed you. I missed you.
Miss me? Oh, you missed me? Really?
I missed you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, guys, good to see you.
Morning.
And um, if you got any questions, got any subjects you want to talk about, just stick them on there. And anybody's interested in coming on the show this morning, we can send you the link and get you on the show.
Doesn't have to be model railroading too. You can talk. We can talk railroading. Period. Trains,
Yeah,
cars,
yeah, real railroading, whatever.
whatever.
Uh, anything related to railroading, we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, we just keep politics and stuff like that out of it. But
I'm politicked out. We did that
yeah,
before.
we did that before the show. Anyway, Bernard's in now.
Good morning.
RDMT's here. How you guys doing? Um, anyway, I wanted to thank, I don't know who told me this, gave me this, pointed me in this direction to this company that I got. This came in the mail yesterday. It's from this company called Mini Prints. They're out of Canada, and they do all kinds of 3D printing. I didn't really look at everything. I think he does some trucks and cars and uh, might even do people and stuff, but he does animals. And I was looking for some bighorn sheep, and this is what I got from him. Let me get the other one up there. I got a pair that are button heads, and then I got some that were just standing and watching. That's a female with the smaller horns. And then I've got some that are laying around and stuff. And this is the only place I could find bighorn sheep. But I really wanted some for the layout. And I wish I remember who told me about that guy. But it's a good site. He donates part of his money to a wildlife fund. I don't remember exactly which one. Unless it says on here. I don't think it says on here. Anyway, I just wanted to show you those. Anyway, the name is Mini Prints out of Canada. If you're in need of something like that, you might check them out because it's got other stuff on there, I believe, too, other than just the animals. But sometimes the animals in HO, and he's got several sizes, gauges that you can pick from. But I know animals can be hard to find sometimes in miniature like that. So anyway, check them out if you need animals.
Hey, we got a guest. I want to say get our a future guest in chat this morning. Eric from Watch Trains Now. I've been watching Eric for quite a while. I tried to get him on the show this morning, but he was working, so he said he was going to try to sneak in on chat. So, welcome. You kind of see what this mess is all about. Hopefully, we can get you on next week or the week after or whenever. But I learned a ton from him. He's fun. He's more into if I understand that, Eric, you're more into working on locomotives. You do rolling stocks some. I think you just got into DCC or you started doing that, showing how to do decoders and things. But I switched from my cheap Bachman stuff to some Atlas and Cato, and a little intimidating on trying to work on them. And watching, I caught his videos. They're entertaining. And I learned how to work on my rolling stock now, or my motive power. Not so intimidating because he'll take them, brand new one, take it down and clean the wheels, clean everything, and put it all back together. And so I want to thank you, Eric, and hope we can get you on the show. That's awesome. Morning, Lee. We see you too. We got a crew in here this morning.
Yeah, it's good. John's here. Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Who else is here? Joe Rader's here. Eminem Shortlines is here. I saw somebody else. Who was that? No, let me
We got
scroll back here a little bit.
Steve Anderson's here. Good morning, Steve.
Everybody's saying hi so much. The
Yeah.
chats are flying by. Bernard's here. Oh, there. I know I'm going to miss the one I saw.
Yeah, Eric says it's all about engines. How many engines do you have? I mean, it seems like you've got a ton. It's like I would all different road names and gee whiz. Talk about a motive power collection. And
I
we got
can't find the one I was looking for. I hadn't seen his name before, and that's why I was. And he made comment on the 3D printed stuff, and I can't find it now. Oh, here it is. Late Night Model Railroad. Shoot your name in the chat so we know what to call you. Otherwise, we'll just call you Late Night.
yeah.
Yeah, he said even Mini Prince does dumping dogs. So if you need a dumping dog on your layout, I guess it could come in handy, you know.
Yeah, Eric says he's lost track of how many locomotives he's got. He's got a lot.
Oh yeah, well it can happen pretty quick. I got two sitting here on the desk in front of me that I was showing Steve. And how many guys know out there? I got a question for you. How many guys know the difference between an inside frame and an outside frame, narrow gauge steam engine, and what the difference was? Why did they have one and then the other? See if anybody knows that. It's probably not as secret of information as I thought it was, because I didn't know what it was at first. I was questioning Shannon. Shannon didn't know.
Well, I was wrong too. We were talking about.
Yeah, but I researched it and found it out, so it was
I was totally wrong.
pretty interesting actually. And I've got the examples here. Hang on a second, and I'll hold them up here. Oh man, this one needs work. Let me go to the big screen here, and then I'll show you. Okay, now this one, that's an outside frame. You can see where the wheels are outside the frame. And then this one, that first one was a 280.
Sparky
That
says
really,
he's crawling into his helix now, so now he can listen to us and not talk.
and here's an inside frame. Okay, so that's the difference in the two. And this one's a 280 also. But that's the difference that I'm asking about. If you know the answer to that, I know the answer to it, but I was curious as to how many other people knew it before I did, because I had to research it. I got that one model with the outside frame, and I couldn't figure out why it was built that way, and nobody knows.
Yeah, and I was even wrong.
No, it's not turning radius. Um, both of those engines have blind drivers in the center. And blind drivers on narrow gauge engines not uncommon because of the turning radius. Um, but it's actually the inside frames made the boiler sit up higher, and so they could only get so big with the engine. Once they started getting up to the bigger engines and they widened the frame out, they could drop the boiler down in between the frame and put a much bigger boiler in. And that's how they got into the K36s and 37s, that sort of thing. They did it before that, but that's the only reason they could do a K36 or K37 on a narrow gauge track. But I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, see, I was wrong too. I thought that those guys were standard gauge that they repurposed for narrow gauge. And see, I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know of any that have been that were repurposed like that, but I'm sure there probably were some. But anyway, just a little bit of info because I have very little info, and I'm out of coffee too. That's not good.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm almost out too. I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, hang on here. I'm going to have to mute myself off.
It's the dogs. Oh man, yeah. You're lucky you don't have little Frenchie out here. I've got. I didn't get puppy duty this morning. I think the wife's got him inside in bed. So we've got a new little Frenchie, and that's interesting. So Claude and I do dogs too.
Yeah, they hear somebody outside. My wife was gone, and she's probably coming back. That's probably what they were getting riled about. So
let's see. So what do you guys want to talk about? What's your thoughts? What do you?
No, late night, no coffee. Well, this is my second cup, and I've already drank that. So
this is my last.
I don't sip coffee. I drink coffee. I have to tell waitresses in a restaurant if I go for breakfast or something. I said, they ask if I want coffee. I said, yeah, give me coffee, and don't be shy. Don't be a stranger at the table because I drink my coffee. I don't sip it.
No, I like my coffee hot. I don't like it.
Yeah, I go through it pretty quick. So, and plus in a restaurant, they usually get the little bitty cups. So,
good morning, Rob Butler here. Good morning. I like my coffee hot, my beer cold.
There you go. Oh, Dwayne's here. Morning, Dwayne. Oh, there again. If anybody'd like to come on and chat, we'll send you the link, and I'll put the link in the. I can do that anyway, I guess, couldn't I?
Yeah, put it up there.
We can get 2 or 3 people in here. Well, we can get 2 people in here.
Well, we got 20.
Let me send the. Hang on here. I'll have to get it up on the screen.
We got 20 people in chat. No subject. Oh, I did my 500th tree this morning.
Oh, Randall Wilson's here too.
Hey, Randy.
Okay, let's see if this works here.
I'll give away my 500th tree as a prize.
Well, come on. Why isn't that going through?
Well, it's better than the echo we had this
There
morning.
it goes. Yeah, we had a weird technical issue this morning when we first got on.
That's why we have to get on early to work out. What is it? Colonel Murphy.
Oh, Bernard's got it. Here, let's hear what Bernard's had to say. Virginian Truckies Baldwin number 29 was on a big low boy headed on I-90 off to Oklahoma to make a movie. Yeah, they're making a movie just north of town here. They had a call for extras. I don't even know what the movie's about or who's in it. I don't really care. But it's not the first movie they've made around here, but it's kind of a big deal when they do it. Everybody gets all excited and wants to be in it and all that mess. And
that's cool.
Yeah, they had a call for extras here about 3-4 months ago. I happened to see it and then promptly forgot about it after that. So, but yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know they were sending a train over here, so it must be a movie in an older era, I guess. I don't know why it would why they'd have it otherwise. Morning, Randall.
Good morning.
How you doing? From your car, no less. I hope you're not driving.
I'm gonna say that's the layout.
Actually, I'm working in the assistant yard van this morning, so I'm actually at the railroad yard.
Oh, there you go.
That's close.
So you're actually working there?
Yeah, I'm actually working. In fact, you can see right there, there's a train right there. So.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. What do you do there?
Right now we just haul the crews from the hotel to the depot here, and wherever they need to go. So,
Oh man, I've spent a lot of time with people like you. That
oh yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, man. The van driver crews, we got to be good friends with them. Very good friends.
that's good.
So, so where are you located, Randall?
We're out of Thayer, Missouri right now.
I'm sorry, where?
Thayer, Missouri.
Okay.
That's cool.
You're not too far from me then.
We had a company called Ratzenberger that drove us around. That's cool.
Yeah, this company, Realtor Express.
How long you been doing that?
Almost 2 years now.
Okay. How do you feel about the train crews now? Are they all grumpy like we used to be?
No, they're not too terribly bad.
Yeah,
They're not as bad as truckers, I bet.
By and large, they're all pretty good guys.
the ones that were dead on the law were the good ones because we were so tired. You know,
Yeah,
been sitting on that locomotive for 12 hours, and then you're waiting for the van for another couple hours, and then you drive to the motel, and by the time you get to the motel, you've been awake for 2 days.
Yeah, that'll make you grumpy. That would definitely make you grumpy.
I'll say this: you hear some pretty interesting stories from some of these guys. So it can be quite entertaining.
You're not going to get a bigger group of belly achers than a railroader.
Here now, somebody might be listening. They might not. They might not like that.
Well, that's funny. That's what I noticed when I hired on with the Santa Fe.
Yeah.
It's like these guys are the biggest bitchers and moaners that I've ever seen. You talk to the guy, and he would complain about everything. It's like, how long you been here? Well, I've been here for 43 years.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't be that bad a job then.
Yeah, you've been dead from ulcers by now.
Yeah. That's
Today we're working 2-yard vans today. We have the normal yard van and I'm the assistant ones.
okay. That's awesome.
I drew the company tank today. I got the expeditions.
Eric, right?
Yeah,
Watching
Eric.
things now. Yeah, he says he has a video he keeps going back to. Do you have videos you'd like to watch again and again?
For our own videos, for me, no. I think it's weird watching myself. I'd like to go back and watch the first one I ever did. Actually, that's kind of fun. If you go back and watch it, it's like, take that off.
How'd you get any followers, right?
It's like, oh God. What video, Eric, would you like? If you say you go back to a specific one, which one it is, I'll go back and watch it. Oh, I love that sound.
That was Randall.
That's random.
That's probably this train dial up the dispatchers. So.
Oh, you should have heard ours. Ours was annoying as hell. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Well, Dave says he used to watch one over and over was Quintopia Layout Tour. I might have to look that one up. There's been a couple of layout tours that I've watched more than once. I don't have any I go back to over and over. But yeah, I've had some of the especially the narrow gauge guys when I'm trying to see something that or get an idea for something on the layout, I'll watch it and try to pick up some info on how they did it or whatnot. But
well,
I don't have anything I watch over and over and over.
Hey, Claude Bernard says the name of the movie is Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio. I wonder if that's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
It could be. Could be like Day of the Triffids. If you saw that movie, that was way back. That was a big B movie in the 50s. We had that problem. We planted out here in our flower bed when we first moved in. We planted some sweet potato vine. Well, neither one of us had any idea how much that stuff spreads. And after about 3 months soaking up the water and the sun, it looked like Day of the Triffids in our front yard. It was everywhere. So, yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a weird title.
That is.
Oh, well. Oh, I know what. I did see something the other day on, what was it? Oh, I heard it on the radio that some fast food place there it's up in Bartlesville area where they're doing it, which is about 30 miles north of here. That if Leonardo came into their place, he got his lunch for free. I think they were just hoping to get him in there.
Oh, the perks of being famous.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Roy Eltham says one video I've watched a few times is Roy Smith's video on Todd Treasure's layout. Incredible layout. I have not seen that.
Treasters. Todd Treaster.
What did I say?
I don't remember. But it wasn't Treaster.
Probably said poster or something.
Probably called him Smith or something. I don't know. Yeah, I've seen that one. I didn't watch it twice, but that was a good video. That guy's got a really nice layout. Now, I tell you one I listened to or watched twice, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but over in what's the name of that layout they've got over in Germany? That's so big.
That's got the airport.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
They did a deal where they did a Guinness Book of World Records attempt at the longest melody played by a model train, which whoever came up with that category, who knows? But it was pretty cool.
I saw that.
Yeah. I think I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it because it's pretty good. But it was done over there at Wonderland.
Joe cut out. I went in, wiped everything out. And I'm going to initialize it again. If you hang on just a second, we'll see if it'll work. Over.
I hated it when you start saying over.
You're referring to that's correct.
I lived.
So this train behind me is having issues with its PTC, so they've actually pulled up a little bit and they've stopped. So you might could actually see the engine just behind my shoulder here, but
you better not be talking about me, Dwayne. Better buy somebody else's layout.
Oh no, yours looks pretty good for a small layout. Looks really good.
It's too small.
Bernard says that Baldwin was sporting dozens of Old Glory flags flying. Were they on the engine itself or around the truck around the engine?
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Well, it's up on the screen there. His question. Bernard said that the Baldwin that he was talking about being transported to Oklahoma for that movie was sporting dozens of Old Glory flags. I was just asking if it was on the train itself or on the truck.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, he saw it on I-80 on a flatbed coming to Oklahoma. That's not a sight you see coming down the highway every day either. No. A locomotive on a truck.
That would definitely turn some heads.
Yeah. Well, and Roy says, "Shut it, Steve. Your layout is great. Just accept it." And I agree, it is good, especially for a DC layout.
Oh, that shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Well, Eric says from Watch Trains Now, says he meant videos from other YouTubers. He likes to watch the history of life like trains part 1. It reminds me of how it started. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen that series, that Life Like Trains series. It's like 3 videos.
I
That was,
started that, but I got bored and watched something else.
that was well, I watched it because I've got some Life Like Proto 2000s.
Yeah.
And then I've also got some Stewarts, and I think they kind of cross over a little bit at some point in their both lifespans. So I was watching it, trying to get some information on the insides and how to tell the difference.
Yeah, I had some old Life Like that is like they didn't run, and they're in a drawer here someplace now.
Well, you know why? It's because they were in there. Uh-oh, Container Man showed up.
Hey, Roy Hardwick, how are you?
Oh, okay. He saw an old steam loco sporting Old Glory flags, not on a flatbed, but on a multi-axle heavy haul trailer. Yeah, that may be I don't know if that's the same one or not that they're bringing over here for that. No, he says he missed getting the video. Now, sometimes when you're driving down a highway, you can't just put all your attention on getting a video. That's for sure.
It's like, did I see what I saw?
Yeah, exactly. Like a UFO sighting.
Oh, speaking of UFOs, we had the Starlink flyover last night. The satellite link.
Uh-huh.
There was like 100 of them. Man, that was crazy.
Huh. Did you get video?
No, I didn't have my phone. I got my neighbors. And I counted 100 of them.
So Roy's not the only one, huh?
No. Let's see. Number 29.
Okay.
Whatever that is. I got an.
Steve Anderson's telling Roy that's what the rest of us call a flatbed, Roy. Yeah. If it doesn't have a box on the back of it,
The only time
or a tank built into it, then it's a flatbed.
one thing I see on Roy's flatbed are pipes when he comes up here. Old pipe.
Now we're going to argue about diesel trucks, I guess. See, I told you truckers are grumpy. When you were talking about train guys being grumpy, I said, yeah, the truckers are too. Roy's my example.
Container man, I like this one. This is one of the double stakes that's running here. So.
Uh-oh, train's moving.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we can see it.
A lot of people don't know it, but those double stacks are not easy to stop.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting from what I've heard from crews.
No, Steve, I haven't met him, but I have watched some of his videos. So heard him getting irritated with drivers. So of course, I'm kind of like that on the road too. I get irritated with stupid people on the road.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Roy a couple of times.
Well, and he's got relatives just south of town here, so I'm looking forward to meeting him someday.
Yeah, we went train chasing trip before last. He was up here. Didn't even see one because there's not much up here for trains. But we looked at their tracks.
Wife and I saw yesterday. We were out looking for some furniture, and come to a grade crossing in the middle of town. They've got a line that runs right through, diagonally through center of Tulsa. And out kind of on this side of town, more east than center of town. We're coming up there, and there's a big UP engine. I couldn't tell what engine it was, but he's sitting right in the middle of the road, just sitting there. And of course, by the time we got up to the crossing, he had moved off. But I looked over there, and they had 2 or 3 spurs there where they had some boxcars sitting, and that's one of the areas that they switch quite a bit, because on the other side of that area, you get caught a lot of times in traffic during rush hour, no less, when they're switching out cars, and you may get stuck there an hour. They don't care if there's traffic or not. They'll sit there and do whatever they're going to do. But that's the same line that runs. There's a highway that goes from about the middle of town to downtown, and they built it on each side of the track, so the train actually goes right down the center of the highway there. Roy's probably seen that.
Sounds like Roy, Sparky, and Vinny are yelling at each other all the time.
Oh, is Vinny here?
No, but Sparky says Container Man is always yelling at somebody, and Roy says, "Yeah, Sparky, you and Vinny."
Well, Steve Anderson says Wilmer's so happy because he doesn't drive trucks anymore. Yeah, that'll take some stress off of you, not having to be in traffic all the time. Okay. Oh, here's a question, Steve. Why do we do beans so early?
Because we can.
Actually, we did it at the same time that we do this show. At least we did last Thursday when we had it.
It just works out easier for us.
Yeah, it's a little easier to do it in the mornings. I'm central time, so it's usually about 10 o'clock when we go on. But most of the time, if Shannon's going to be on there, it's midnight for him. So if we get any later than that, and then of course we go 3-4 hours sometimes. So if we do that, then he's into the middle of the night for him. So that's another reason why we don't do that, or why we start a little bit earlier. In fact, we started doing beans because of COVID and being stuck at home that, first couple of weeks to flatten the curve kind of thing. And we're working on our layouts. We just got on there and said, hey, we can put this on live stream. We were video chatting, so just put it on live stream and do it that way. So that's what we did. Got a lot of work done on the layout at that time. And it's just been kind of something we do every now and then. Instead of just chatting back and forth, we put it on the live stream and invite you guys in.
And it's more of a PG and R rated, I guess.
Well, it's R rated when Shannon's on, yeah.
Yeah, Shannon's on it. R. Eric, you said you like the old Life Light. He says he can make them run. I've got some parts I should just send you. You can have them.
Well, Steve says, and why do you do it unannounced? I'm at work, but sometimes I can join if you send out a reminder. I guess we could.
Well, sometimes we don't know.
Yeah, sometimes we don't know. We get up in the morning and we'll be talking to each other and say, hey, let's do a beans. Okay. So, by the time I get set up and stuff, which is 30 minutes, then we put it on. But it's not normally something that we expect a lot of people to come see.
Well, in my life changes. My life kind of changes, so I might plan it for 3 or 4 days and not be able to come on it. So that's a lot of times we don't plan it.
Yeah, but anyway, that's hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, I'll try next time before we do one. We'll try and send out a reminder if we decide to do one a day or two before. We may send out a reminder or an announcement and let you know we're going to do one. I'm not real big on doing announcements on here, but except during the show or something. But which brings me to an announcement. I don't know if any of you have heard or not. Steve said he mentioned it on Community Roundhouse. Allie has decided to withdraw from the show. She's been dealing with her parents. Both of them are having trouble. Her mom, I think, broke a hip, and her dad was recovering from knee surgery. And of course, they're older, so she's been spending a lot of time with them. So we wish her well, and you know, hope she comes back. We'll welcome her back anytime she wants to come back. But she's decided to pull away for now, and we wish her the best.
Well, you know, families comes first. I mean,
Yeah,
hobby.
yeah, definitely. Definitely, life comes first. That's why Shannon's not here more than he is. He's finding out how much that takes place when you have a lot of kids. I keep telling him what causes that, but
Steve, I was on a live stream. I mentioned it on a live stream, and I thought it was Community Roundhouse. Maybe it wasn't. Sparky's here. Sparky knows where I said it. I don't remember where I said it.
There you go. That's what happens when you get old.
Well, I said that she had to prioritize, and it wasn't a real clear explanation. So it was a little confusing. So yeah, I'm not
piggybacks. That's one thing I don't see much anymore. At least around here, the piggyback trains. Oh, train went bye.
Yeah, that's probably the Z train, so, or one of them. So.
Well, we've got a pretty good yard here for BNSF over on the west side of town, and most of the stuff coming through there are either coal trains or tank trains. And when I say tank trains, they're not mixed freights. These are all like the same thing.
Yeah.
Covered hoppers, get a lot of covered hoppers here because of all the farming and stuff around. And then container, and we get the container trains, but we don't get a lot of the piggybacks around here.
You know, if you stick the piggybacks in front of the double stacks, that's a fun train to try to run. Because I don't know if you know it, but the piggyback's got a spring-loaded drawbar in them, and they got quite a bit of slack in them. So you put those things in front of double stacks that don't have a lot of slack action, they'll beat you to death on the head end because there's no way to run that train smooth.
Well, there's a guy that works here. I know him pretty good. His famous line is always, "There's no such thing as a good train." So.
Well, you talked about the spring couplers. This isn't a train thing, but I was coming home on the highway the other day, and I passed a car hauler. And on the very bottom, on the very back, he had it looked like a Camaro or something like that. I wasn't paying that much attention to it because what I was looking at was the spoiler underneath the front bumper. He had that thing hanging. It probably wasn't hanging this far from the pavement, right?
Oh, no.
And the car's springs were, I don't know if they looked like they were shot. Or those shocks were shot because it was just bouncing like crazy. And every time he'd come down, a little piece of that spoiler would come flying off the back.
I've seen him like that going to Memphis.
At least it wasn't a new car, so. But all righty, what else we got? Yep. Steve says he gets 4 trains, oil, coal, containers, and mixed with lots of lumber. Yeah, well, we get a lot of oil cars around here. I'm assuming it's oil with tank cars. I don't pay that much attention to them, but between the coal never comes through the center of town. It always goes from the north side over to the west yard, and then out southwest toward Oklahoma City, or it's going straight north. And then the oil and the hopper cars, we're liable to see those through the center of town. Not sure where they're coming from or going to, but
yeah. Well, we get a little bit of everything here. We get vehicle trains, coal trains, what they call the men kicks, which are the mixed manifest trains, and the Tulsa men's. And
Now, we'll get some of the car trains through bringing the new cars in, but it's like just the ones they're bringing here. Because I think they bring them here and unload them, and then to the small towns they take them out on trucks to the small towns. But
yeah, well, the man pits, they could have steel coil cars in them, and the same with the Tulsa man. They can have steel coil cars. They can have everything, box cars. Shoot, I've seen them where they'd have double stack containers mixed in with them. So, I mean, literally, everything's on the table
yeah,
if you ever want to try them all.
well, the mixed freights that we get around here would be the ones coming right down the center of town, the one that splits the highway, and it's going southeast, but it's usually hitting local stuff here. The main stuff on the line going north that went through the old Frisco station and then goes over to the West Yard. That's all big long trains, yeah, of
Well,
usually one type of train.
the yard here, they don't do any switching or anything here unless they keep a set of man helpers here just in case they need them. But for the most part, it's just a crew change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the West Yard here has a big hump yard with it in it.
Yeah,
So,
we don't have that here. It's just a really small yard. The two main yards, Springfield and Memphis, is actually the one with the hump yard in it. Springfield's just regular. As far as what I could see, it is flat switching.
yeah,
What's the mileage district that they run on? What's their mileage?
You mean like the milepost markers?
No, how far they run? Their district runs from you.
Well, this line, the Thayer subdivision, starts in Springfield, Missouri, runs all the way to Memphis,
Okay.
Tennessee, and that's what constitutes their subdivision.
Okay.
So it's probably about, and give me a second to kind of figure the numbers. It's like 320 miles or something like that. Rough guesstimate, give or take a little bit. So,
that's a lot of mileage.
Yeah, it's the north half is pretty rugged. They're going up and downhill quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we had a Union Coal Train shell a coupler about a week ago at Cushman. So, I was taking a cruise to Springfield and I saw it sitting there. We couldn't figure out why it was sitting there, and they come over the radio and said they'd shelled a coupler. So about 40 cars deep into the train. So, and probably one of the more interesting things, I had to assist the train from Sedgwick, Arkansas to Imboden. And when we got to Imboden, they had to stop and pick up a coal car. And I kid you not, the coal car, half of the knuckle coupler was gone. I'm not talking about just the knuckle. I'm talking about literally half the coupler was just sheared off.
Wow.
man.
And they was going to hang the thread on it. And I said, I told the engineer, or the conductor, I said, there's no way that thread's going to stay on there. And he said, oh, yeah, it'll stay on there. He said, you see that piece with the two slots in it? And I said, yeah. He said, that's all you need to hang that thread.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's there, you can put a thread on it.
That's right.
So,
well, a lot of people don't know those knuckles are designed to break. That's the weak link in the train.
When they pulled out, you could see the coupler going back and forth, just moving, sliding around in that draft gear box. And I said, I told that conductor, I said, there's no way that coupler's going to make it to Thayer. I said, it may not even make it out of the side. And he said, if it does, it just falls off on the ground. But I asked him, I saw him a couple days later, and I said, hey, did that thread stay on that train? And he said, "Oh yes, that rode all the way to Springfield like that." And I guarantee you, if you guys saw what I saw, you would have never thought that thing would have made it to Springfield. The way it was bouncing around and moving around in that draft gearbox.
That's funny.
Roy says he actually hauled drop chunks from the Tulsa UP yard up to, I don't know how you pronounce that. I've not heard of that town.
Yeah, it's funny.
But anyway, up in Kansas when he was working for the other trucking company. Yeah, well, if you were from around this area, yeah, I can see that. Even if, of course, Roy lives in Kansas, I think. But
Now
yeah,
my
it's pretty
dad
good size.
worked
That's
out
pretty good
towards
size yard over there.
Wichita.
We were
I was
talking
just gonna say
about
my
Fred
dad worked out
Ted
towards
Rod
Wichita,
shows up.
Kansas, places like that back in the day.
Oh, what else we got here?
I don't
Oh,
know if
Fred
it's out.
Wild. Fred made it in today. Good morning, Fred.
Yeah,
He
we're
sees
talking
mostly
about
tank hopper, and coal. Very rarely do we see containers, auto racks, reefers, etc. And the track split in the town have north and south. Yeah, and you're in. Keep forgetting what town you're in. Up in South Dakota. He's out there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, here in Oklahoma, you get a small town. Every little small town, if it's near a railroad line, the railroad line goes right through the middle of town. Um, every one of them, all the towns were built around the railroad line. Even the big boy, when I went out here about 15 miles east of here, of my house, to Inola, Oklahoma, where the big boy came through on its run. And I mean, it was right through the center of town, and I thought they'd come through slow. And they come
Yeah.
through there, had to be 45 miles an hour at least.
Well, about 2 to 3 miles south of where I'm sitting, uh, State Park, there's a Frisco Depot, or the original Frisco Depot, and there's a Frisco caboose still sitting down there. And the depot's still in its original location. So, and they just cosmetically restored the caboose, so it looks really, really nice.
Chatopa. What's that, Roy? Chatopa.
That's Chatopa. That's the town in Kansas that he was hauling to,
Oh, okay.
and it's a
Yeah,
small town. I've not heard of that town, but doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of towns in Kansas that I've never heard of. A lot of them I have, but a lot of them I haven't heard. And I live just south of Kansas, so straight up US 59, 59, 59. I'm trying to place 59. 75, I know. 169, I know. Out of town here. 59, I think, is a little bit west of town here. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one that goes up around Keystone Lake and then up north. Oh, Aberdeen. Fred lives in Aberdeen. BNSF division meets. Okay.
Three
Oops.
division.
Through there. Huh. Yeah. 3 divisions. 3 divisions?
Yeah.
Dang. That would make a pretty good hub, wouldn't it?
Fred, you must be busy. You say you ride on every train.
Oh, he said, okay, here. They still have 4 depots there. The hub city, because all the railroads once came through town. Yeah, I can see that, especially back in the day when it was used more for, also passenger service, not more for passenger service, but also for passenger service. Oh, it's near Veneta. He says, okay, Highway 59 is near Veneta. Okay. So it's still so many towns up that southeast corner of of Kansas, I wouldn't know them all, but along the Neosho River. Dave, you're not from around this area, are you, Dave? Because I know where the Neosho River is. Anyway,
Well, yeah,
they're putting up stuff that popping stuff into my head because I know where all this stuff is.
Steve Anderson has a question on how a mixed train should be built. All empties and full empties should be in the back. Yeah, that's kind of a good question. A lot of times when they're thrown together, they don't care where the loads and empties are. Um, as a general rule, they try to keep the loads on the head end for a big one, but I've had trains where the loads were all on the rear end, and they would kick you in the butt anytime you try to stop. So you get a lot of slack action. Yeah, it kind of depends where they put them. It's kind of random. But
Yeah, I would think it would depend on your destinations for them and
yeah,
stuff, and your
they
drops and
yeah they would make the blocks, for specific locations. But as far as loads and empties, they don't really care. They just throw where they are.
Dave says no. Google Maps is how I saw it. Okay. Have you been having trouble with Google Maps? I have been trying to plan a trip out for next summer out to see Steve actually, and
Yeah.
I get on Google Maps anymore, and I used to not have any problem at all, and now I get on there and it works great for about 5 minutes. But when I start scrolling through the map and changing locations and stuff, all of a sudden it doesn't want to load the next scroll, and I don't know why that's doing that. But I'm just wondering if anybody else had that problem. Oh, I know where Baxter Springs is. Mining, Baxter Springs. There's a big mining dump truck manufacturer there. Oh, okay. Well, he may have been talking to Dave. I don't know. Dave's cheating though. He's looking on the map. Bernard says he sees pretty much everything come through there. A lot of hazardous for the mines too.
Cyanide. Nice.
Yeah, that's the one you don't want to have him derail right there. Fred says they once had Milwaukee, Great Northern, M&ST. I'm not sure what M&ST is. Oh, St. Louis. Okay, Missouri and St. Louis maybe. Chicago Northwest and now BNSF. Kind of has a lot of railroad history. That's cool. That Tulsa does too with the Frisco and stuff coming through. Now I'm not a Frisco fan by any means, but they had Santa Fe and Frisco both coming through here for years and years and years. In fact, there's somebody I can't think of his name now that's doing a layout, and he's been 3D printing the Tulsa Depot and the overpasses. There's a bunch of overpasses that go over the old yard on the north side of downtown, and of course they're all Art Deco designed on the bridges, on the railings and stuff. And he's been 3D printing all that. And I told him, I said, man, you have nailed it dead on. It looks fantastic. Because it looks just, I've been over those bridges thousands of times when I was plumbing and working in that area. And yeah, he got it. He got it really well. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
And he says he wondered about. It seems like the center beams fall over. How does the only way a center beam is going to fall over is if it's not balanced. So how would a center beam fall over out of a train? I'm confused.
Yeah, don't know either. That's one for Roy.
Well, I know when they unload them because they load them here in Grants Pass, and they have to take them off of one side and then go a little bit to the other. Because if they take all the lumber off one side, it will fall over. Because they get
Yeah, you got to keep the load balanced depending on what
so
it's
they'll
falling.
unload it. They'll alternate sides when they're taking the loads off of it.
Yeah. Well, I think they have to do the same thing with the the pipe that my wife sends to out into the field for the oil and gas wells, and it'll be the large steel pipe that they put down the hole and stuff, and for casing and whatnot. And they have the same problem. They have to unload it evenly because you unload all of it from one side, and it'll flip the trailer over. Let's see here. Bernard is. No, Roy is going to ask me a question here. Maps is working fine for me now, but I have seen what you're talking about. I think it's when they're updating the maps. Okay. Okay. Well, I was wondering because I've got a Mac, and so the last update they've had a little trouble with the last update, not wanting to update properly, and I was wondering if it might have had something to do with that. But if it's the maps, then I can understand that. Bernard wants to know if Roy ever hauls anything to the mines in Carlin. And I don't think this is an answer to that, but he said he used to haul mulch from not mulch, to the mines, from Quapaw and drove through Treese, Oklahoma a lot. Treese is dead now. Too many holes from underground mining. Yeah, I've not ever heard of Treese, and I've been here since '71. I've heard of Quapaw, but I've never heard of Treese. Anyway. Now we're on the trucks instead of model railroading.
Well, no, we're talking about center beams and placing them in trains.
Okay.
But that's
still
just,
get
I mean,
center beams through
it's
here.
just a flat car, so it's not going to fall over. I mean, there's no difference between a center beam and a flat car as far as placement in a train. If you've got too many empties on the head end of a train, they will string line on a curve.
We've actually got a train that runs through here that hauls nothing but scrap metal. So,
Mhm.
There you go. I missed it.
Old hoppers. So.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, empties in the back, Roy. Yeah, that's the best placement.
Empty center beams in the front of a loaded train isn't a good thing. Norfolk Southern had issues on Horseshoe Curve a few years ago. Yeah, live and learn. If they didn't know it originally, they figured it out pretty quick.
Well, Horseshoe Curve has a reverse super elevation too.
Yeah.
To try to eliminate that.
Roy says Treese, Oklahoma was smaller than Quapaw. Well, then it was pretty small. And there are some small towns here in Oklahoma that they've got a sign, but you wouldn't know there was a town there. It's basically a post office is all they got the sign there for.
We're getting to the end of the show again.
We are. Another hour's gone by. It always goes fast when we get on here.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but sitting right down there is one of the BNSF 25th anniversary engines. So that's actually 6078 sitting down there.
Yeah. Barely seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to see, but it's been sitting here all day with a work train. So.
Well, Gus Hadley's in the house. Good morning, Gus. Good to have you here. He said he's got 4 windows open, split screens of 3 different streams. I can't keep up with what I'm doing on this one, much less having a bunch of others.
Can't keep up with one screen. There's only 4 of them.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Well, guys, we've come up on another hour, so we will. We're working on having some more guests on. Thanks for coming on today, Randall.
No problem.
Doing a little
Wish I had more trains for you, but
hopefully next week we'll have Eric from Watch Trains Now or soon. So
yeah, we've got some. Got some more coming on. I've got some out to some vendors I'd like to get on here and interview. So we'll see if we hear back from them. And, we'll keep working on getting some on.
Yeah.
And if any of you guys want to come on,
on,
drop us a line, let us know. Preferably send it to my email. In fact, Steve, I need your email again.
Oh, okay.
Send it to my direct email. Don't send it to the Back on Track email because I don't get in there very often. I mean, really not very often. So don't send it there. Send it to my personal email, and I can give you that right here now. So if you want to harass me through email, go ahead.
I like doing it in person.
Yeah, it's more fun in person.
More fun in person.
But that's my email that I use. Sorry, Randall.
I was just going to say, it's a shame you guys weren't on a couple of days ago. It was an absolute madhouse down here Wednesday. So, I mean, there was trains all over the place. So.
Oh, here you go, Steve.
No, I'm not.
Anderson says you need to get off your fanny and go over to Microtrains and do a live stream.
I would like to do that, actually. That would be cool if they would do that. I don't know if they would. I think a tour of Microtrains would be good.
Well, the other one that I haven't sent him an email yet, but I'm going to is Tom over at Camel Models, who lives there in Grants Pass, and maybe I'll send Steve up there to interview him live.
That'd be cool. No, I've thought about trying to get a tour of Microtrains. I think that'd be cool. It's not very big.
Roy wants to know, where in Oregon are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, he said that's Steve Arnold.
Grants Pass. Oh, I'm not looking at chat. It could
Yeah, Roy, he's in Grants Pass.
If you look at Oregon, I'm at the bottom lower left. I'm only
southwest.
Southwest. I'm only about 60 miles from the coast, about 30 miles from the California border. So I'm just a suburb of California.
And Roy says, one of the days, hopefully we can meet. Well, I'm sure we will, Roy, if you got relatives here. If you come see your relatives and all, live here. But yeah, anytime you're coming through town, holler at me. If you know you're going to be here, let me know a little bit ahead of time, and I can meet you at a truck stop if we need to, if you can't stop for very long. But yeah, we can do that. If you can stop long enough, we'll come over to the house and I'll show you the layout up close. But anyway, somebody's driven through. Oh, Roy's driven through Grants Pass many times.
A lot of people. I-5 goes right through Grants Pass.
Well, Roy, when you drive through there next time, roll down your window and drive toward the direction of the smell, and that'll be Steve's house.
Yeah, that would be Gus. That would be Gus.
Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up today. And we're working on getting some more guests on, so we'll talk to you next week, and y'all have a good time. Remember Allie's parents. Remember Nate. Nate was having, I think, a leg amputated. Nate with Tygon Valley. Well, it used to be Tygon Valley, and he's now East Broad Top. But yeah, guys, keep them in your prayers, and we will see you next week.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep, no problem. Have a good guys.